It's not looking good for Keir Starmer and his Labour government, as every day that goes by he loses ground and the support of his voters. We can reveal that Keir has had a morning from hell as crushing new data has emerged, and we can tell you he is in trouble. We will discuss the full story in today's video, whilst going over all of the latest news from around the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Keir Starmer's Labour Party have sunk to a damning new low in national polls, just 4 months after coming to power. Latest YouGov data sees Labour soar to a 57% disapproval rating and a meagre 18% approval rating, the biggest gap between the two since the last days of the Tory government. The general election had seen Britain's disapproval of the government sink, the biggest drop since February 2011, the start of YouGov's polling. But the months since, punctuated by riots, winter fuel payment cuts, accusations of two-tier policing and justice, an ongoing donations row and much more, have seen Labour squander their lead. Alongside the domestic rows, Starmer has also let the Chagos Islands go, risking the British archipelago slipping into China's grasp. The islands will be handed over to Mauritius, alongside a financial support package, in order to address wrongs of the past, David Lammy's Foreign Office said. Boris Johnson branded the move total nonsense, said in an interview, and claimed the Labour government are trying to look like the good guys. This genuinely record-breaking stuff, and this poll revelation today, shows you everything you need to know about the confidence of the people for Starmer and this Labour government. Surely, there isn't much time left for these clowns. What are your thoughts on this news? Let me know in the comments. In other news, a vote on legalising assisted dying in England and Wales is set to take place in just a short number of weeks after a bill was brought forward. Labour MP Kim Leadbeater has proposed the change in law. As the MP for Spen Valley, she introduced a private members' bill, which will be debated. Private members' bills, introduced by backbench MPs rather than the government, seldom become law, but there has been increasing momentum in support of legalising assisted dying. The legislation would give adults nearing the end of their lives the power to choose to shorten their deaths and give stronger protections both for them and for those they leave behind. At the moment, family and friends who help a person end their life could face up to 14 years in prison. Leadbeater said, "I know that life is precious, but no two people's lives are the same. What is in the best interests of one person may not be right for another. I believe that we should all have the right to a good life, and where possible, a good death. Which is why this bill is about individual choice and autonomy, something every one of us deserves." The MP added that the new law will include details which ensure no one is pressured into an assisted death against their will. She also said precautions will be in place to make sure palliative care is not undermined. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has previously suggested that he is personally supportive of the move. In September, Starmer made a vow to Dame Esther Rantzen that he would allow MPs a free vote on the issue. She has been campaigning to legalise assisted dying after revealing last year that she has been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Last month, the Labour leader said, "I gave her, Dame Esther, my word that we would make time for this with a private member's bill, and I repeat that commitment. I made it to her personally, and I meant it." In other news, Labour is facing new controversy after offering companies the chance to have breakfast with the business secretary in exchange for £30,000. Businesses are understood to have been invited to a restaurant for the rare chance to gain insight from Jonathan Reynolds. Those attending were offered distinct benefits in return for sponsorship of the breakfast. Reports suggest a photo with the business secretary costs £15,000, while attendees could choose who attends the dynamic meeting of business minds for £30,000. The revelation emerges as Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer faces accusations of cash for access involving his top donor, Lord Ali, to whom he granted a Downing Street pass. The Labour Party's commercial team reportedly emailed a pitch yesterday inviting businesses to the Ivy restaurant in Manchester for a rare chance to gain insights, network and exchange ideas amongst peers and a government minister, according to The Sun. It adds, We have carefully curated a package that offers distinct benefits, ensuring your brand receives optimal exposure and engagement during the event. The emails were said to have been sent by Liam Didsbury, who was recently the Labour Party's Northwest director. Labour sources acknowledged the invitation was authentic, but clarified that although it aimed to engage with businesses, the wording was poorly phrased. Allies of Reynolds said he would no longer be attending. A Labour spokesman said, "He was completely unaware and isn't attending." Shadow Minister Andrew Griffiths has slammed the Cash for Croissants scheme. He said, "This is a clear offer to bend the business secretary's ear over government policy. There are proper channels through which businesses can engage with the government on policy matters, but this is something completely different and won't appear in any public record." Labour has been in office for less than 100 days, but we can already add cash for croissants to passes for glasses in the growing list of scandals engulfing this government. In other news, the Duke of Sussex has made a plea to global leaders on a solo trip to Johannesburg. Prince Harry has demanded for heads of state to create a platform for young voices and stressed the importance for the need for regional solutions to key issues. The 40-year-old made the journey to South Africa to represent Sentabale, a youth HIV charity he co-founded, following a trip to the tiny mountain kingdom of Lesotho. In Johannesburg, Harry took part in a reception and panel discussion with stakeholders, business leaders, and strategic partners focused on empowering young people and closing the digital divide. His visit followed a stint in Lesotho, where he reunited with close friend and Sentabale charity co-founder, Prince Seiso. Speaking on the importance of including youth voices in conversations, he told the crowd, "I've made it one of my life's missions to create a platform for young voices, and we have seen time and time again that young voices, when they are listened to, have the solutions. Universal access is important, but can we please make it safer for people, especially the global south, so we don't have the same problems as in the global north? Access is a double-edged sword, and for us as a society and people in positions of power and authority, I see no excuse for why we can't change this double-edged sword into something that is beneficial to the entire world." Harry spent 2 months in the Kingdom of Lesotho during his gap year when he was 19 in 2004, which inspired him to establish Sentabale, which now also operates in Botswana. He made the journey without wife, Meghan Markle, to the tiny mountain kingdom in southern Africa after his brief visit to the UK for the Wellchild Awards on Monday. HarrySussex.com website recounted the trip under the headline "Lesotho welcomes Harry home" and said it rekindled cherished connections from his childhood. Princess Senet Seiso, the niece of Prince Seiso, shared footage in her Instagram stories of Harry speaking passionately as he perched on a chair by a fire during the nighttime gathering. Harry, speaking by the campfire, said, "We're hitting the targets, not just Sentabale, but in general all of the departments are, and it's making a massive difference, and it is this surge of energy and optimism and the voice of young people, ranging from 6 to 25. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.